Mary had always looked forward to these moments. Her grandson's graduation, a culmination of years of hard work and family pride. She sat there, surrounded by loved ones, watching him stride across the stage. But something felt off. She saw the joy on everyone's faces, heard the cheers, but it was as if a thick, invisible pane of glass separated her from the scene. She was observing, not truly participating. The warmth, the vividness, the deep immersion she expected simply weren't there. That profound moment of realization hit her. She was watching her life and the lives of those she cherished through a window. She was no longer fully in it. That feeling stole the very essence of what she had hoped to experience that day. Perhaps you recognize that feeling yourself. Maybe it's at a family dinner, or while catching up on the news, or even just looking out your own window. You're seeing the world move, but you don't quite feel its pulse anymore. You are not alone in this. In fact, if you felt this way, you might be at a critical crossroads. This isn't just a sign of getting older. It's a profound psychological shift, a glass wall phenomenon that can quietly rob you of your vibrancy and engagement. It's not mere boredom, nor is it a simple lack of things to do. This sensation of detachment stems from deeper, more complex psychological transitions happening within us. It touches on how we see ourselves, how we perceive time, and even how our minds filter the world around us. Today, we're going to uncover the 7 powerful psychological reasons why many seniors begin to feel this way. These aren't just theories. They're insights into how our relationship with existence itself can recalibrate, often without us even realizing it. One of the deepest reasons many feel this way comes from something psychologists call your narrative self. This is the continuous story you tell yourself about who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. It's your personal autobiography, always being written. But here's the threat. As we get older, this narrative often shifts dramatically. Instead of constantly looking ahead, planning the next chapter, we can start looking backward. The focus moves from actively writing your future to simply reviewing your past. Think about it. For decades, your story was about building a career, raising a family, reaching milestones. Each day added new pages to your ongoing life. But then, those big chapters often come to a close. Psychologists describe this as achieving, ego integrity. You spend time making sense of your life's journey, finding meaning in what has already happened. The primary task becomes maintaining your identity, rather than creating a brand new one. It's like you finished writing the main story and are now simply reading through the completed manuscript. This is exactly what happened to Michael. For years, he was a project manager, always sketching out future plans, new ideas, and next steps. After retirement, he found himself spending hours just flipping through old photo albums and recounting stories from his working days. He told his daughter, "It feels like my story is already written. There's nothing left to add." He felt a quiet sadness, a sense of being on the sidelines of his own life. But you don't have to put down the pen entirely. You can consciously decide to add new paragraphs, even new chapters to your story. Start a small, personal project you've always wanted to explore, like learning a new skill or volunteering in a unique way. Take on a new role in your community that excites you. These small, intentional actions help you reclaim your role as the active author of your life. You'll feel a renewed sense of purpose, a vibrant connection to the present, and the comforting knowledge that your story is still unfolding, rich with possibilities. This shift in your personal narrative deeply connects with how you perceive time itself. And that brings us to our next point, how our sense of time can dramatically change, making the present feel less urgent. Reason 2, the shift from chronological to existential time. Imagine looking at the world, and it feels like a movie playing just for you, but you're not in it. This isn't just about feeling disconnected. It's about a profound shift in how you experience time itself. For many seniors, the clock isn't just ticking forward anymore. It's a different kind of time, and it can make everything feel less urgent, less vibrant, less yours. Psychologists call this a shift from chronological time, the linear march of days and years, to existential time. This means that as our future horizon naturally shortens, our brain subtly reorients its priorities. Instead of chasing long-term gains or constantly acquiring new information, we start to value emotional satisfaction and meaningful connections right now. This isn't a flaw. It's a natural, adaptive process, but it can make keeping up with fleeting trends or new technologies feel oddly pointless. Why bother with the latest app when you've already seen countless innovations come and go? This inner shift can create a quiet detachment from the buzz of the contemporary world. Take Audrey, for example. In her younger years, she was always the first to try new restaurants, download the latest music, or understand the newest gadgets. Now, her grandchildren would bring up viral videos, and she'd nod politely, but inside, a quiet disinterest had settled. She felt a pang of sadness sometimes, seeing their excitement, while her own desire to engage with anything new had simply faded. It wasn't a choice, it was just gone. like a color she could no longer perceive. This left her feeling a growing gap between herself and the world, a silent observer in her own family's vibrant present. The key isn't to force yourself back into chasing every new trend, but to understand this internal shift. Instead, consciously redirect your energy towards experiences that offer immediate emotional richness. This could be savoring a cup of tea, deeply listening to a loved one, or noticing the patterns of light in your garden. When you do this, you stop measuring life by how much you do, and start measuring it by how much you feel. You find profound satisfaction in the present moment, feeling deeply connected to what truly matters, rather than feeling left behind by what doesn't. But this detachment isn't the only silent drain on your energy. Sometimes, the very act of living, especially as we age, requires a constant processing of what we've lost. Reason 3, the hyperfocus on loss processing. Now let's talk about something incredibly common, yet often invisible, the sheer mental weight of processing loss. Many seniors find themselves in a constant state of what we call loss processing. This isn't just about big goodbyes. It's the cumulative effect of countless smaller changes too. Each one, from a friend moving away to a shift in your own physical abilities, requires a piece of your mental energy. Think of your emotional capacity like a battery. When you're constantly dealing with feelings of absence or change, that battery drains incredibly fast. It leaves you with less power for joy, for curiosity, or for engaging with new experiences. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's simply how our minds work. Grief and adaptation are demanding, invisible tasks that monopolize our cognitive resources, leaving us feeling depleted and cautious. After losing her beloved sister, and then having to sell her family home, she found herself saying no to almost every invitation. It wasn't that she didn't want to go to her book club or see her grandchildren. It was that the thought of getting ready, making conversation, or dealing with any unexpected change felt utterly overwhelming. She wasn't actively sad in those moments, just completely exhausted by the ongoing internal work. She watched her life from the sidelines, not because she chose to, but because her emotional reserves were completely spent. The key here is to recognize this invisible labor. Give yourself permission to acknowledge the energy these changes demand. Then, deliberately schedule small pockets of emotional rest and gentle engagement. This might mean setting aside just 15 minutes each day for something purely pleasurable and undemanding, like listening to a favorite song, watching birds from your window, or mindfully enjoying a cup of tea. It's about consciously recharging your emotional battery, allowing moments of lightness to seep back in, even amidst ongoing challenges. This proactive approach helps replenish your spirit, making space for new experiences without the fear of immediate emotional overload. You might find a tiny spark of curiosity reigniting, a sense of quiet peace returning, but this focus on loss also ties into how we process all information. It leads us right into our next point, the metacognitive filtering effect. Our fourth reason takes us into the very sophisticated workings of your mind. It's about a mental superpower you've honed over decades, but this power can sometimes turn you into a bystander in your own life. This isn't about mere thoughtfulness. It's a specific kind of thinking that, paradoxically, can filter out life's vibrant colors, leaving you watching instead of living. As we age, our brains adapt. We might not process brand new information as quickly as before. That's what scientists call fluid intelligence. But what grows incredibly strong is our crystallized intelligence. This is your accumulated knowledge, your wisdom, your uncanny ability to see patterns and predict outcomes. You become incredibly skilled at thinking about your thinking, a process known as metacognition. You can analyze situations, foresee consequences, and often know how things will play out before they even begin. This cognitive wisdom is a huge asset. Yet, it can also lead to something called analysis paralysis. You process events so thoroughly in your mind that their immediate impact diminishes. The thrill of the unknown, the raw surprise, gets diluted. You've already reached a conclusion before you fully experienced it. This makes the present moment feel less urgent, less exciting. Consider Doris, a woman who always prided herself on her good judgment. Her family invited her to a new interactive art exhibit, something quite different. Doris immediately started thinking, the crowds, the parking, whether she'd truly get modern art, and if it would be worth the effort. By the time she arrived, she'd already formed her opinions. She walked through, nodding politely, but felt no genuine awe or surprise. She wasn't interacting with the art, she was reviewing it. The raw emotion of discovery was replaced by quiet, critical assessment. She left feeling like she'd merely observed, not participated. To reclaim that raw experience, try a simple shift. When a new opportunity arises, give yourself a strict time limit for your initial analysis. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Think through the practicalities, but then make a decision to engage based on a feeling, not just logic. Once you're in the moment, consciously shift your focus. Instead of analyzing, immerse yourself in your senses. What do you see, hear, feel, taste? Let the immediate sensory input wash over you without immediate judgment or prediction. This practice doesn't mean abandoning your wisdom. It means giving the present moment a chance to surprise you, to delight you, to truly be experienced. You'll feel a refreshing sense of genuine discovery, reconnecting you to the vibrant now. But sometimes, this feeling of distance isn't just about overthinking. It can also be a quiet, unconscious way we protect ourselves from life's demands. Reason 5. The psychological buffering of the self. Sometimes, our minds build an invisible fortress around us, a psychological shield. This isn't about ignoring problems. It's a sophisticated way we try to protect ourselves from the vulnerabilities that can come with aging. But this very act of self-preservation can inadvertently push us away from fully living. When our bodies don't move like they used to, or our social circles change, it can feel like we're losing control. This feeling of powerlessness can be unsettling. To cope, our minds create a clever trick. We step back. We choose to observe from a distance. This mental detachment gives us a sense of mastery. It makes us feel unruffled by things we can't change, even if our physical control is limited. It's like building a safe, quiet room inside your head where nothing can surprise or hurt you. The cost, however, is that you're often watching life happen from behind a pane of glass. Take Marcia, for example. She used to be the life of every family gathering. But as she got older, she found herself making excuses to stay home. She'd tell herself, "It's too much effort," or "I'll just slow everyone down." She felt a strange sense of relief, a calm absence of worry, when she declined an invitation. But later, a quiet ache would settle in. She saw photos, heard stories, and knew she'd missed out on moments she couldn't get back. That protective distance left her feeling safe, but also deeply isolated. The trick is to gently challenge that invisible wall. Start with one tiny step. If an invitation comes, accept it, but set a time limit for yourself, just an hour. Or simply say hello to a new face at your regular coffee shop. You might just find a spark of joy, a feeling of being truly present again. Proving that connection can be safe and deeply rewarding. This sense of distance can also affect how we connect with others on a deeper, almost instinctual level. Reason 6. Disruption of the mirror neuron system. Have you ever been in a group, maybe at a family dinner or a social gathering, and felt like you were just watching everyone else connect? It's like there's an invisible wall. You see the laughter, the shared jokes, the easy rhythm of conversation, but you can't quite join in. This isn't just shyness. It's a deep, unsettling feeling of being out of sync, a spectator in moments you desperately want to be part of. This feeling can often be traced back to something amazing happening in your brain, called the mirror neuron system. Think of these special brain cells as your internal social radar. They light up not just when you do something, but also when you see someone else do it. They help you understand intentions, feel empathy, and even catch emotions from others, creating that unspoken connection. However, research suggests that as we age, especially outside our most familiar settings, this system can become a little less responsive. It's like your social radar isn't quite picking up all the signals, making it harder to naturally fall into step with new or faster-paced interactions. Consider Tammy, a spirited 68-year-old at her granddaughter's birthday party. She watched the younger adults effortlessly chat, their hands gesturing, their expressions mirroring each other's jokes. Tammy wanted to jump in, to feel that current of shared energy, but she found herself hesitating, a step behind, unable to quite read the room or match their quick banter. By the end of the evening, she felt a quiet ache, not from physical tiredness, but from the emotional exhaustion of trying to connect and feeling like she failed, ending up an observer. But you can re-engage this vital system and bridge that gap. Try consciously observing and subtly mimicking the body language, facial expressions, or even the energy levels of those around you in conversations. It's not about being fake, it's about actively tuning into others. Participate in group activities that demand shared attention, like singing in a choir, playing a board game, or learning a new craft alongside others. This active engagement helps wake up your mirror neurons, allowing you to feel more deeply connected, understood, and truly part of this social fabric again. Sometimes, though, our own comfort zones can unintentionally keep us watching from the sidelines. Reason 7. The over-consolidation of place and routine. You might find yourself living the same day, week, or even year, over and over. Your life becomes a carefully planned sequence, almost like watching a play where you know every line. This deep comfort and predictability can silently steal your chance to truly live. It makes life feel observed, not fully experienced. Our brains naturally seek comfort. Sticking to routines saves a lot of mental energy. It means you don't have to make countless decisions or plan every little thing. New experiences, though, demand effort. Your brain sees something new as a puzzle to solve, a potential challenge, and that takes valuable mental resources. So we often filter out novelty, choosing the familiar path instead. This makes sense for saving energy, but it can also make life feel flat. Take Shelia, for example. For years after retirement, her days followed a precise rhythm. Breakfast at 7, walk the same park loop, watch the same afternoon shows. She felt safe, yes, but also a growing emptiness. One Tuesday, her friend suggested a new coffee shop. Shelia hesitated, feeling a rush of anxiety about the unfamiliar menu, the different route. She went, but the slight discomfort overshadowed any potential joy. Later, she wondered why everything felt so beige. You can gently challenge this pattern, introduce small, deliberate changes into your week. Try a new route for your errands, listen to a different genre of music, or visit a part of your town you rarely see. These tiny shifts don't demand much energy, but they signal to your brain that life still holds surprises. You'll start to feel a subtle buzz of anticipation, a renewed sense of discovery, and the world around you will begin to sparkle again. These 7 psychological shifts might seem like a heavy burden, but understanding them is the first step. They aren't roadblocks, but rather signposts. Now that we've uncovered these deep-seated patterns, it's time to talk about how we can gently recalibrate our approach to life. Here's a simple challenge for you, starting tomorrow. When you have your morning coffee or tea, try drinking it in a different spot than usual. Maybe by a window you rarely look out of, or even outside if the weather permits. Tell us in the comments below. What small, new thing did you try? How did it feel to shift your perspective, even for a moment? If this video resonated with you, and you're ready to explore more ways to live your richest life, make sure to subscribe. Hit that notification bell to join our community. Your story is far from over, and we believe the best chapters are still waiting to be written.